welcome to Math. Happy Monday to you, and I have a big surprise. Guess what? We are going to Disneyland today. So, for our math, chapter 12.4, I'm going to take you to Disneyland. Why not? We're going to Disneyland. So let's pretend we have driven down to where Disneyland is, and we've stayed in a hotel overnight, and tomorrow morning we are going to Disneyland. I can't wait. So let's take it step by step. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning when we wake up, and we're just barely getting up. We're hitting our alarm clocks, and it's a good day. It's a good start to the day. And at 9 o'clock, we are going to Disneyland. On the clock. We're up at 8 o'clock, and we're going to get to Disneyland at 9. Okay, so it's 1 hour before we're getting there, okay, before showtime. All right? The next thing that we do is we all get dressed into whatever clothes we've prepared to wear at Disneyland all day. Not too hot, not too cold. It's going to be a wonderful day. And it's about 8:15. So it's taken us about 15 minutes to do this. So at 8:15, it has been 15 minutes since we've woken up, 15 minutes after 8, okay? And it's 45 more minutes before we get to Disneyland. I can't wait. The next thing that we do is put all of our luggage back into our car because we're not going to be going back to the hotel. So we're packing the car up here, and it's at 8:30, and we're all getting inside the car. It's exciting. We're going to drive to Disneyland, guys. Are you excited? I'm excited. So at 8:30, it is going to be 30 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's been 30 minutes since we've woken up. And it's also, if you can do your math right, 30 more minutes until we get to Disneyland. I'm so excited. So we've got 30 minutes before 9 o'clock, 30 minutes before we get to Disneyland, guys. And we're in the car, and we're driving. It's so exciting. It's about 8:40 now, and it's been about 40 minutes since we've woken up. Stick this on the clock because I'm excited. We're in the car driving. It's been about 20 minutes now before we arrive. It's been 40 minutes since we woke up, but you know what? We don't care about waking up anymore. All we care about is getting to Disneyland, and there's 20 more minutes now before 9 o'clock. Okay, it's 8:40, 20 more minutes. We're counting it down, guys. Oh my goodness, I see the gates. Do you see the gates? I see the parking gates. I can see the colors. I can almost smell the food. And it's about 8:45. Hopefully you know what that means. 8:45, there's only how many more minutes? Somebody do the math. 15 more minutes until we step foot into Disneyland. We have 15 more minutes before 9 o'clock. The countdown is getting smaller and smaller. And oh my goodness, we're waiting in those lines to get in the doors. We've got our tickets, we've paid, and I can see it. I can see the grass, guys. I can see the grass beyond the line. We're almost there. It is 8:55. I can feel the excitement. I can hear the music. And at 8:55, that's only 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. Oh, I cannot wait. We are almost there. And we pay, we get stamped, and chun-cha-da-cha, 9 o'clock, we are in Disneyland. It's a good day, and we are finally there. Now, I told you this story because today we are going to be talking about time. And we're going to be talking about something called before and after, okay? What they're talking about is counting down to something that's going to happen, or counting how long something has lasted, okay? Before I get into it, your book wants us to review about one day is 24 hours, 12 hours during the day, 12 hours during the night. Midnight is right in the middle of night, And after that is morning, and we call morning AM hours, okay? Right in the middle of our day is noon, 12 o'clock. And we call afternoon, after those hours, we call them PM, okay? Just a quick review. You'll see it on your work page for today. But let's go back to Disneyland, right? So if you remember this 15 after or quarter after, that's kind of how we say when there's 15 minutes that has passed from the hour. Or we could say 45 or is a quarter to, okay? 45 is also 15 minutes until we get to the next hour. So we have this kind of after and before. Quarter after, I want you to think as waiting. It's a waiting game, guys. How many minutes has it been since 8 o'clock? Oh my goodness. Have it been 15 minutes after? Is it 20 minutes after? Oh goodness. It's already 40 minutes after, guys. We've been waiting for this long. So when you talk about after, you're just counting the minutes that have passed, okay? But when we get to the other side of the clock, we're going to be kind of counting the before. How many minutes before the next hour? Think of before as kind of a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa! How many minutes before we get to the gates? So you'll notice as our Disneyland story went through, we were counting afters. And then we started to do a countdown. Oh, it's 15 minutes till 5 minutes. It's 10. We're there. That kind of a thing, okay? So when they say the word before, they're talking about before the next hour, okay? So after, we're counting those minutes after. Before, we're counting the minutes before the next hour, okay? Hopefully this makes sense. Let's do a couple examples. So let's go back to our 6:15 if you remember. So at 6:15, this represents 15 minutes after 6 o'clock, 6:15. Now, can anybody think of the math? How many minutes then before it gets to 7 o'clock? Hopefully you said 45 and you would be absolutely correct. 45 minutes before 7, before the next hour. Let's do another. At 2:55, we are 55 minutes after 2 o'clock. We've been waiting for 55 minutes at that 2 o'clock hour. And hopefully this math is super easy of how many minutes before the next hour? 5. Only 5 more minutes before 3 o'clock. This was when we were at the gates of Disneyland, right? Ooh, this one is a little more exact, guys. 52. 8:52 is 52 minutes after 8. That's easy. But how many minutes before we get to 9 o'clock? If you were waiting in line to get into Disneyland and it was 8:52 and you're like 9 o'clock, come on, come on, come on. How many minutes before? 8. I hope you said 8. 8 more minutes and it will be 9 o'clock. Now, it's time to do some of this by yourself on your work page. Let me know on Zoom if you have any questions or if you're having difficulties. This can be a little tricky, but hopefully the Disneyland story will help you realize how many minutes after and then how many minutes before we get into those gates. It's kind of like a countdown, all right? Good luck, guys.